had a Billy Idol sighting on Bill Maher's show.
Yeah, Billy Idol, of course.
And they talk a lot about a lot of stuff, including Billy Idol being on heroin but not injecting it, snorting it. It's interesting. I thought Billy Idol might have had more to say, but he was reserved, but not really, because Bill Maher was talking more than Billy Idol was.
Bill Maher does get a little chatty. The more was Bill Maher getting progressively drunker or higher as the show went on?
It seemed like it. Yeah.
He did the same thing with a guest he had on recently, where by the end of the show it was just him steamrolling the guest and talking over him, and it was annoying.
Yeah, so what's the point of the guest if you're just going to steamroll them?
I don't know.
I don't quite understand. Okay, but one part of it, and when I saw it, I immediately thought of you. Because I didn't realize that Bill Maher was a huge Beatles fan.
I'm not
I did
surprised.
not know this.
He's a man of taste, clearly.
Yes, he is. So, all right, we're going to roll with this clip of Billy Idol.
Yeah. I mean, some of the Beatles songs are, to me, just same thing, like very forgettable lyrics, but it just sounds great.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Do you agree with that? Very forgettable lyrics? I mean...
Yeah, I guess. I mean, well, I don't know about forgettable, but meaningful. Sometimes they lacked meaning. Like, we all live in a yellow submarine. What the hell is that? Or I am the walrus, goo goo goo. What? What does that mean? But they're memorable.
Okay. Rebecca Ryder just sounds great. It's like a good, like a bass lead almost. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, Hello, Goodbye. It just sounds.
And John Lennon always said it's Day Tripper again or something, or Ticket to Ride. He said, you know, he's always he said that Paul's just ripped me off again. You know, so.
He said what?
Well, because the the riff in Paperback Writer, it's very similar to something like Ticket to Ride. You know, the boom, boom, ding, ding. He said his Paul's just taken my Ticket to Ride, and that's what.
What do you think? Do you agree?
No, John Lennon was notoriously persnickety about Paul for a few years, and he did an interview with Playboy magazine in 1972, 3, where they asked him about every Beatles song. It's an amazing interview for Beatles fans, and he really shits on McCartney a lot and accuses McCartney, oh, well, he based that off of something I did. He based that off of something I did. I don't know. John, when he met Yoko, John, dead to me.
That bitch ruined it.
But specifically, if I hear Ticket to Ride in my head and Paperback Writer in my head, they're not the same. They're different. It would be like saying, you know, Led Zeppelin's Rock and Roll is like Hell's Bells because they both start with guitar riffs. Well, yeah, lots of guitar songs start with guitar riffs.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think they're that similar.
Okay.
I gotta listen. I never heard that story.
He doesn't mean it like he just means he's replying to my song with a similar thing, because they're always replying to each other's songs.
You think?
Well, John Lennon does Money on one album, and then next minute Paul McCartney does Can't Buy Me Love. You know, so he's kind of answering. They're always answering each other.
Of course, Money was a cover.
Yeah, but still, you know, he's saying Money's what I want, and then Paul McCartney does, but it can't buy me love. So
that's a really interesting thesis.
So Bill Maher, this is where he pisses me off. So Billy Idol's comparing the song Money to Can't Buy Me Love, right? And he's just making a point, like he's saying this, then Paul's saying this. Now, Money was a cover. Don't point that out. Don't correct your guest on such a minuscule point in the middle of an interview. That annoys me with him.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's like a little pedantic. It's like he
has to by the way, it's a cover if you didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like, all right, just
calm down.
right. I'm down, Bill. Smoke your weed or whatever the fuck. Just shut up for a minute.
I never heard that, but I'm gonna re-listen to all.
It kind of goes on into even John Lennon's solo stuff, where in one of those songs on the last album, that Double Fantasy, sings about things are getting better and better, and you can't tell us that he's not thinking about
the song
getting better. On Sgt. Pepper's and stuff like that. stuff like that, you know.
Interesting.
What song is that on Double Fantasy?
It's called Beautiful Boy.
Woman?
Come on.
I don't know if it's Beautiful Boy or
Beautiful Boy.
It's one of those songs where he says, and it's getting better and better, and you kind of go, there has to be a retort.
One of my all-time favorite just single records is Starting Over.
I can't believe the sleep apnea pillow exists. So I almost made the dumbest mistake of my life. I got this.
What is it?
Yeah, it's
the one that was on the charts when he was
I put the ad blocker in, but that didn't work apparently. Okay.
killed.
Yeah.
The lead single off that album that he hadn't made an album in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got the Phil Spector, Phil Spector genius on it.
Our friend Phil Spector with the amazing afro.
Okay, you shouldn't shoot your dates in the head. We know that. Okay, we're not forgiving that. But that doesn't take away from...
Just let everybody know that we did a deep dive on Phil Spector. Go check it out.
It was a good one.
It was a really good one.
The sound of that record.
Yeah.
That record never shot anybody. Okay, that record is just a great record. Our life together is so special.
It's precious, not special. See, I'm getting pedantic. I'm correcting Bill Maher. I'm an asshole now.
Backing vocals. It's almost like a 50s.
Oh, by the way, Bill Maher, it was special. Not what is it?
It was precious, not special. Actually, Bill, it was. Sorry,
Elvis, a bit of an Elvis touch to it.
But it showed that John Lennon still could do it on his own.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he certainly did not do it as much as McCartney by far. First of all, he was just very...
Now, they're going to talk about it a little bit, so I want to get your thoughts about it when it happens. But
okay,
there was this lure that John Lennon couldn't do it without Paul McCartney. And they were under the impression that he was obsessed about where he was trying to not necessarily compete against Paul McCartney, but it was just like, well, if he could do it, I could try to do it better. Or like, I don't need Paul McCartney to do this for me. I can do it on my own. Like, do you believe that?
No, not necessarily. I think in the end, they both realized that the sum of the parts or sum is greater than the parts, so to speak. McCartney had some great solo stuff, but it was missing that Lennon edge. And Lennon had some good solo stuff, but it was missing that McCartney melodicness, sweetness to it. And it's like peanut butter and jelly. They're just good together. If you separate them, they're good, but not quite as good. And that's how I feel about Lennon and McCartney. But they were very competitive in their solo careers. They were paying attention to what the other was doing and generally trying to one-up each other.
Okay.
Well, he died. Okay, he only had 10 years. But even that 10 years, from 70 to 80, when they were their first decade, when the group was split up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, McCartney probably had, 10 hits on the charts or more, My Love, Does It Good, Remember, like not always like genius, but like reliable pop hits.
Yeah.
Listen to What the Man Said, Silly Love Songs, never one of my favorites, but giant hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he just did a lot of
Wrong.
stuff.
Yeah.
And kept doing it in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, he's...
Your thoughts, Julio?
I will have no one besmirching the song Silly Love Songs. That song has a sick bass line. Wrong, Bill Maher. Wrong. You should interview me.
Yeah.
Band on the Run. I mean, that was just that one album. Mm-hmm. Just that one album.
Yeah, that's what brought everybody's faith in Paul McCartney back again when he did Band on the Run.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, a lot of people were slagging him off and everything with Ram or the first McCartney, and I like that a lot.
First McCartney had maybe I'm amazed on it.
It's fantastic.
I mean, that's even if it was just that song.
Yeah, it's huge.
I mean, yeah. I mean, was there other stuff? It's funny. There's a song on the first one, Every Night.
Yeah, I like that. I like Every Night.
I just want to wake up. And then, but the chorus, do 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 do. Every time I hear it, I think, wow, that's You Never Give Me Your Money.
Yeah, You Never Give Me Your Money.
It does sound that one part of it is almost a direct.
Yeah.
Because my ear goes right to do 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 your money. Okay, so we busted him on that. Other than that, he's the Mozart of our day. But other than that, yeah. But John Lennon, he was obviously doing other things and taking care of issues bigger than music.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see that right before he went, he still had the capacity on his own without Paul McCartney, because I think that was an issue that did hang over his head. Can I do it without the guy who we all kind of know is just even more gifted as far as this, like being prolific and being, he's just a musical prodigy on a level that I think even John Lennon is not on. But John Lennon could still, I mean, he certainly was the spirit of the Beatles when they started. And he still, on his own, wrote so many great records. But I do think he worried when they split up, like, oh, wow, if I don't have this guy, because this guy, I can go in there with like, because he wasn't, you know, even by his own admission, he could be quite lazy.
Yeah.
So he could go in there with something that was good, but not great. It's like, this guy I picked up when I was 15, he is some sort of fucking player, and he's gonna bring this one up to band standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think he did worry. And by the way, sometimes the stuff John Lennon did put out in the 70s, Mind Games, not a great album.
Yeah.
Not really up to band standards. And I'm wondering if, well, I'm sure the collaboration would always been better on both ends. But it was just great to see that at that final moment, he could make a record like Starting Over, which is as much as a favorite of mine as any Beatles record. It's just a great record.
Yeah.
Hot take.
So.
Yeah, and Woman and stuff. There's
Woman, yes, another classic.
It's a great song.
But I wouldn't have wanted to see him singing in Vegas when he was.
Can you pause real quick, Derek? I have a comment.
Sure.
So Bill Maher is waxing poetically about his last single, not record, called Starting Over, which is fair. It's a good song. John hadn't come out with a song for 5 years, which back then was a big stretch. Nowadays, bands take 5 years to make the next album and nobody thinks twice about it.
Yeah.
So when they announced that album, the young Beatles fan I was all excited. And then I found out half the songs on that record were Yoko songs.
Oh,
and that drove me crazy. So you would get a John Lennon song, which was great, and then the next one was Yoko. Then another John, and it was interchanged throughout the album. And it was before MP3, so you couldn't just make a playlist and delete the Yoko stuff.
You had to listen to the Yoko crap.
Yeah, because it was on an LP. So I had to sit next to the record player and pick it up, move it forward a song, try to aim the needle. So, yeah, I wish his last album would have just been him, as opposed to Yoko's caterwauling.
He's the definition of pussy whipped.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever Yoko wanted, he did. Even if it was terrible, he did it.
I think her appearance on the scene was the beginning of the end for the band.
We had talked about this before, where he was just distracted when she was around, right? And then she could be like up in the studio with him, and it's like, get the fuck out of here.
She was recovering from a car accident, and they had a hospital bed rolled into the studio, and she would just sit there, like staring at the band. It was just a bad vibe. If I were McCartney and Harrison and Ringo, I'd be like, can you get your bitch out of here? We're working here.
Yeah. God. I can't believe they rolled the freaking hospital bed in there.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I mean, there's some good things about dying young and leaving a pretty corpse, you know. You sort of have the best of both worlds. Like, you're a guy who should have died. Isn't that the name of your documentary?
Dead, yes.
What is it called?
Billy Idol Should Be Dead.
Billy Idol Should Be Dead. So when you were bouncing titles around, was there?
He looks great for an ex-drug addict who's his age.
Billy Idol. Billy Idol, big star.
He's got the big ass shoes that makes him like a foot taller.
Yeah, he's got the Robert De Niro soles.
Tom, run that by me again. That thing you thought of a couple of days ago.
No, those old Doc Martens are comfortable as fuck, though.
Mm-hmm.
They don't always look all amazing, but they're comfortable as hell. The Doc Martens.
I used to hang out with a bunch of punk rockers in the 80s, and that was like their uniform. They always wore Doc Martens. That was all the punk boys and girls.
So what is the closest that you ever came to being dead? Look at me acting like a real host.
A few times, yeah.
Like what?
Well, We kind of I went back to England in triumph with the album Rebel Yell. I'd done
Rebel
that
Yell.
and
The biggest. I would think that was the biggest of that year.
I was going to do it on Top of the Pops in England, kind of returning to England. I've had this big record in America.
Conquering Hero.
Kind of coming back to.
Yes.
So a load of friends of us met us at the airport, and they had a bunch of heroin on them. So, of course, somehow everybody else in the room
just so happened to have it in my pocket right here.
Yeah.
Except for me and the other guy, who's chopping the lines out. So we kept doing lines, and then
doing lines of heroin, snorting it.
I don't know how everyone else had passed out, but me and him didn't.
So you were not shooting it?
No, we just snorted.
You never shot it?
A few times, but I didn't like that idea of it. My mother was a nurse. I think something about that.
So there we learned something. You did not shoot heroin, you snorted it.
Yeah.
Pussy, go ahead.
Yeah, no, just I'm glad I did that because, yeah. But yeah, anyway, I kind of eventually we did pass out, and then when other people in the room came too, I was going blue, So
I don't know.
They put me in a bath.
Blue, you said.
They walked me about on the.
Wait, go back to blue. Why do you go? You would go blue on heroin?
Well, if you're dying, you go.
Oh, if you're dying,
you dumbass.
Why would it kill you? Oh, I guess I shouldn't ask that question. I know it does.
Blue like a Smurf, you turn blue.
Plus, the other thing I saw there is Billy Idol's like, yeah, heroin, did heroin, and he's like, oh, you snorted it, and he goes, oh yeah, he goes, you didn't shoot it. He's like, it was Billy Idol's response was like, you did no, needles are bad. I'm like, you're snorting heroin, dude. Don't sweat the needle. Do it either way.
I kind of got the feeling when I watched this because Billy Idol is probably a grandparent now, and maybe his kids or his grandkids are going to watch it. So he was very kind of like, well, yeah, I did that. And like, he never really got into it.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually smart if that's the case on his part. Although I'm sure.
I mean, I could be reading into it, but it almost seemed like he was sort of being a little bit reserved.
Holding back.
Because Bill Maher's just, you're snorting it, and why are you blue, and everything else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how.
Yeah, no, nor do I. I suppose it just overwhelms your system.
Right.
And I suppose it stops you breathing or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, like Billy Idol's very matter of fact, like, oh yeah, I did it, and and it was of the time, and let's talk about something else.
Yeah, especially he has quite the body of work musically, and they've spent 10 minutes talking about the Beatles and his heroin addiction.
Yeah.
And if I'm Billy Idol, as much as I love hearing him discuss the Beatles, and I'm sure he's a big fan and enjoys talking about it, I'd be like, hey, I wrote some stuff. You want to talk about that? You want to talk about that?
He had some banger hits.
White Wedding, Rebel Yell, Eyes Without a Face. Remember me, Billy Idol?
Great.
No, we're going to talk about Paul McCartney instead. All right, fine.
Look, I'm not an advocate for heroin by any means, but
Must survive.
it is important to note that there are very rare, but there are people who actually did it in a managed way. William S. Burroughs, I believe, was doing it at 80.
Wow.
Some people just have I wouldn't recommend it. Don't try it at home, kids. Because I've also heard that somebody once described doing heroin the first time as the best.
And Billy Idol doesn't have like old man skin. His skin is very like baby face still.
He looks great. He must have had some work or treatment done, don't you think?
I would think so. Yeah. But he looks great.
Yeah.
Orgasm you ever had times 1,000.
Well, it is really great. It's just the worst thing is.
If he had it done, it still got his facial features. It doesn't look out of place.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever facelift or whatever that he had done, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, it was a good doctor.
He still got the features. He still got the whole,
jawline. Yeah, and everything. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look plastic and artificial.